Welcome to the Financial Update with First Community Bank, live every fourth Thursday of the month on WLIJ and podcasted on Facebook. Join guests from First Community Bank and our host as they inform, educate, and encourage you on all things finances. First Community Bank is a member FDIC, equal housing lender. Now, here's your host. To you. It is a wonderful Thursday morning, not our normal fourth Thursday of the month, guys, but glad to be here with the Financial Update with First Community Bank. Today I'm joined by Daniel Watson and Kayla Hilliard. How you guys doing this morning?
Doing good. Thank you, Chase.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, ma'am. It's wonderful to have you guys on the show and good to be talking with First Community Bank. Now, Daniel Watson is the president and CFO of First Community Bank here in town, and Kayla Hilliard, their now marketing manager.
Yes,
Congratulations.
sir. Thank you. Excited about that role and opportunity, for sure.
Absolutely. So it's a fairly recent promotion, I understand.
It is, yes. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. Well, that's fantastic. Well, guys, we've talked a lot about Daniel's career path and how he got involved with banking, but we haven't heard from you, Kayla. It's your first time on the show.
Yeah, excited.
Yeah. Well, we put this together. Yeah. It's about time.
Yeah. A great idea for sure. We've had a lot of good conversations with Daniel and Scott and Mark. So I'm reluctant to be on the radio, but here I am. So
it's wonderful.
Yes.
You're great. You're doing great so far.
So I'm what I like to call an accidental banker. I went to college to be a teacher and actually received my teaching degree. Student taught, was licensed and everything, and had been working at the bank while I was going to school, and graduated, and some of the people at the bank said, well, why don't you stay? And I was like, well, maybe I should. So I did. And I've done a little bit of teller work. I've done some of our proof department stuff where we run all of our checks, and I've done everything but the accounting department for the most part, and I don't want to step into that.
That's why we got Daniel.
That's why we got Daniel.
Right there.
Thank God for Daniel.
Yeah. Thank God for Daniel and the accounting team. So, but yeah, accidental banker. I'm thankful for banking, and I'm thankful that it did choose me because banking did choose me. But I do get to use like my education from my teaching background.
Sure.
All the time with financial literacy we teach in schools, and I mean things like this. We teach at the Senior Citizen Center, so there's just a lot of different things that we do that I get to utilize that degree. So
I see. Well, now I'm starting to see the connection, because your background leads us right into our next topic, which is the School Spirit Debit Card Program.
Absolutely.
And I mean, my understanding so far here in the promotions about it is that every swipe with one of these School Spirit debit cards through First Community Bank will donate a certain amount of money to the school of your choice. Is that correct?
That's right. So we started this program back in 2017. So it's been 7 years. This is our eighth. We're starting our 8th year.
Wow.
We were talking earlier, time goes by so fast, it doesn't seem like it's been that long. But we thought this would be a good way, for us, it's to encourage folks to bank with us, to use their debit card with First Community Bank. But then, it's in our name, right? Community. And we have a passion for supporting our school system and, giving... the program to date has been 3 cents per swipe year-round. So every time you use the card, and swipe is a loose term because if you've got if you purchase something online, that would count as well. So it doesn't have to be just physically in the store, just use of the debit card. Each transaction, we donate 3 cents back to our account holder's school of choice. And most of the schools, I believe the principals kind of direct this, but they've allowed those donations to go down to even the classroom level, so teacher-specific, school program specific, so band, football, soccer, tennis, whatever it may be. And we really feel like we can support every activity, at the school. We just ask our customers to let us know what they want to do, and we work with the principals, the bookkeepers at each school, to kind of get the accounting side of that right. And quarterly we try to disperse the funds.
Well, it sounds like to me it's a great way to do it, because I believe everyone has their expertise, and they should be allowed to work in that field. So, like, y'all's expertise in this situation is creating a good idea and a good way to raise this money. It's up to the school to decide how they need it. There's nothing wrong with donating to something specific. That's fine.
Well, we hope it energizes people, knowing that contribution, and this is no cost to the customer. So the bank is giving this donation out of our funds. So it's just all the customer. We're asking of the customers to just use the card. Bank with us. Hopefully, we'll provide the great service and use the card. But we hope too that it motivates folks, knowing that if they have a child in a classroom, that they can help support the needs of that classroom through the program.
Absolutely. So I mean, that's how the SSDC program works, and that new increase rolling out very soon. So
for the next 2 months, so through September 30th, kind of as a back-to-school special, we're excited to announce that we've been sharing this at some of the school open houses. We're going to increase to 5 cents per swipe.
From 3 cents
to 5 cents, yeah.
Fantastic.
For the next couple months. So hopefully that'll encourage from our point of view, folks to use their First Community debit card, but also get excited about the new school year and help support the classrooms, the schools, the programs.
Yeah. Right. And is that active today?
It is today. Today is
August 1st.
August 1st. Happy August, folks.
Yeah, so if anybody went and got some coffee this morning or
5 cents
donut, breakfast with their card, that's 5 cents starting today.
5 cents. Oh, 5 cents, correct. So, and that'll be going through September 30th.
That's right. Yeah.
Is there anything that someone using that SSDC card needs to do to activate that, or is this just automatic?
I'll let you take that.
Basically, if you have a First Community Bank checking account, and you automatically get a debit card, but you have to say that you want to use it as a School Spirit debit card and designate your swipes to a certain school classroom group of your choice. So that's just a matter of having the conversation with our universal bankers and saying it's as easy as a phone call or a text message or whatever, however you can get in touch with us. So it's nothing that they have to sign a paper for or anything like that. It's just call us and let us know, and we'll tell you. If you say you want to donate to, let's say, Aiken, are they a general fund school or are they a delineated? So do they have first grade, second grade? So we give you those options and let you know what's available.
Okay, so basically if you have one of these cards, be in contact with First Community Bank, because they're happy to help guide you through that every step of the way. What's a good phone number they can call?
931-684-5800.
5800. So
and one of the cool things I think is that we have logoed cards or branded cards for each school.
I love that. I've seen them.
I thought I'd show mine, but I was like, maybe I don't want my debit card number on
let's not do that. Let's not do that.
I'm an old Harris and Central Eagle, and so I support. I still support Harris with my debit card, and but I think those cards are really neat. But you don't have to get one. So if there's a current customer, those cards are special order. So if you've got your debit card, and that's one of the challenges in our modern world, right? You get so many things linked to it. If you want to participate, but you don't want to change cards, you can. It's easy for us to do. Just as Kayla said, call the bank or stop by, and we can activate your current card into the program. It's just a few steps for us.
Kind of transfer it over.
And then you don't have to worry about getting a new card or new number.
I was going to say no stress, no new credit card, no new debit card numbers, no new card. Period. You can just give you guys a call,
And we check a box, and then you're done.
Yeah, so it is an opt-in, so we do need people to provide us guidance on how they want to participate. But
well, that's fantastic. Well, I've heard that you guys have raised $125,000 by doing this so far for the school systems right here in Bedford County.
That's right. That's our program life to date total.
Right.
It's about $2,000 a month right now. That's going back to the schools through this program. But over the first 7 years, it's a little over $125,000, which is we're proud of that number. Feel like that's a great contribution back to the school system.
That really is, folks. And that's what you get when you choose to bank with First Community Bank.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
So you've got 1,600 cards enrolled as of this date.
Yep.
And maybe this increase here, this will get more people encouraged to participate as well. Grandfather the cards over. We can see that number rise.
We hope so. We'd love to see a couple thousand cards. We'd love to grow that to from 1,600 to 2,000. Whether that's new account holders, which is always great, or current customers who maybe haven't heard of the program. It's always
sure.
When you're advertising, you feel like, man, we talk about this all the time, but then you still encounter people that are like, oh, I didn't know about this, and so we're always trying to find different ways to reach people and communicate what's going on. So if there's current customers that are listening in and want to participate, we'd love to add them to the total.
Absolutely. So there's like some specific initiatives that the program has helped with in the school system. There's incentives for the students, interactive boards. Teachers have bought simple things like toner. I mean, it's stuff that we don't think about, but it's still an expense.
And it's a necessity for the operation of their classrooms. I mean, we've heard recently toner is a major expense that our teachers are having to take
expensive.
Care of. So they can use these funds to purchase anything that they need, or if it's general fund, then that's up to the discretion of the principal and their committees. But these funds can be used for anything.
That's fantastic. And again, emphasizing that your expertise is to raise the money. It's up to the school system to use it where they need it, because they know where those pain points are, where they need the help. And so that's wonderful that this isn't stipulated to knowing.
No, it's no strings attached from our end. We certainly defer to the knowledge and expertise of the administrators and faculty to what they may need.
Right. So how can a community member or organization get involved and support these efforts? I mean, obviously you can get a card. Is that it, or are there other options?
Well, that's probably the biggest thing, as we discussed. Call the bank, or if you're not banking with First Community, we'd love to add you as a customer and have the folks participate in the program. But if there are current customers that are participating, if they could tell a friend, that'd be great too.
We try to, we've added Cartwright recently, so they actually have a School Spirit debit card that they can utilize. We're in conversation of adding another school, so we're trying to stay allowing everyone to participate. Every school currently in Bedford County is a participant, so we are covering the whole county. We actually do cover Moore County as well.
I just saw that.
So we have Moore County elementary, middle, and high. So some of those funds go there. We do have a presence in Moore County with our branch there. So
we're covering those schools.
Yeah, we're covering our footprint.
Good. So Moore County residents, which naturally we cover that area here at the station.
We have our branch there in Lynchburg, and we can serve those customers too in their schools as well. So.
Wow. Okay, that's good to know. So Moore County residents participate. You're more than welcome to. And we talked about the limited time offer, the 5 cents. I had a question here. Some of the perks of this fundraiser. One of them is that it's silent. Could you explain what you mean by that?
Well, I think that just means it's easy for folks to participate. They don't have to really do a whole lot. It kind of works in the background, if that makes sense. We really want to. If you're a First Community Bank customer, your normal activity, your normal spending activity, is what's driving the success of the program. So you really don't have to do a lot other than give us a call to sign you up for the program, or to perhaps, if you're not a customer, let us help you swap over and get you signed up. So really just a few minutes on the front end, and then it kind of takes care of itself as long as you're using that First Community Bank debit card.
We kind of say it's out of sight, out of mind. Like you sign up and then you just use your card as normal, and you're donating without even thinking. So
that's exactly right, and I love that. There's a lot of people out there that they would like to support by giving, but they don't want to get called out for it. They don't want a spotlight, and so it's a wonderful opportunity.
And I'll say it earlier. I'll say it one more time. This is not an expense to the customer, so it's not a roundup program or something like that. Those are great, but that's not what this program is. This is just our way to give back on our customers, based on our customers' behavior. There's shopping behavior, and so all they have to do is just use our card, and we take care of the donation side. So
fantastic. Well, folks, this is Chase Clanton here talking with Daniel Watson and Kayla Hilliard here on the Financial Update with First Community Bank. We're going to take a short break and be right back.
Since 2017, First Community Bank has given 3 cents for every swipe made on an FCB debit card to teachers, classrooms, sports teams, and organizations of each customer's choice. The swipes have added up a lot, totaling over $100,000. What a milestone. Are you unfamiliar with how our SSDCs work? It's simple. Use your First Community Bank debit card, and for every swipe, FCB donates 3 cents to the chosen teacher, classroom, school, sports team, or organizations. Give us a call at 931-684-5800 to set up or redesignate your swipes today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to the Financial Update with First Community Bank. Now, back to the show. And we're back here with you on the Financial Update with First Community Bank. My name is Chase Clanton, your host, here talking with Daniel Watson, your president and CFO of First Community Bank, and Ms. Kayla Hilliard, the marketing manager. You had something that you wanted to mention about Cartwright Elementary. I got to go in a couple weeks ago and see its beautiful place.
It is. I had the opportunity on Sunday afternoon. They had their open house, and myself and another employee went and to promote our School Spirit debit cards. And I just was going to comment that it is a beautiful building, but just the excitement of everyone that was there, from the faculty that I spoke with, the parents and the students, and I'm sure everyone's excited to be back to school. Maybe some are sad to see the summer end, but it was really great to see, and I just commend the folks there, and really at all our schools for the start of the new year, and just want to wish them all good luck. There was just a lot of excitement in the building. It was really neat to see. It was fun. It was fun to observe.
The vice principal Malcolm Martin, I believe is his last name. He gave me a private walk through the school a few weeks ago, and it was just wonderful. I mean, the way that school was planned and set up, and the color coding and the security is my favorite thing. I think everyone did a good job involved. Absolutely.
You could see it, and again, I think the excitement of all the people that are going to be in there, from students to faculty to staff, was really, and it was energizing for me to see.
Right, it's an exciting time in Bedford County when you got this beautiful, brand new, very large school too. Well, let's talk about some scams and things that are going on. We've been tracking these ideas since we started the program, and one of the ones that we always talk about is, you get these messages online on the internet or something that's unsolicited, and it just seems a little too good to be true, or somebody's trying to start a relationship with you, looking for people that might be vulnerable. Have we seen any new trends in that? We've talked
about it at least once or maybe the two times, both times previously that I joined you, and it really is, unfortunately, we talk about something really great like our school system and our support of it, and then we keep coming back to scams, and we just keep seeing more of it, and want to continue to encourage everyone to be cautious. I came up with a little saying, stop and think before you click the link. That,
I love it. Stop and click before you click the link.
You can almost make yourself paranoid, but you said it. The scammers are really trying to find a way to earn your trust, and then they're gonna pull the rug out from under you.
You're gonna exploit that.
We've seen it with what's the romance scams we talked about, where folks will meet online. They never actually meet in person, perhaps, and then weeks or months down the road, the scammer is asking someone, hey, I'm going to send you this check. I want you to deposit it. You keep, the check might be $2,500, and they'll say, you keep $500, but send me the, go down to the Western Union, whatever. Transfer me back the rest. And then what happens is then that check comes back as bad, and the scam person is let on the hook for having deposited the bad check.
I'll have to say, the more confusing it sounds, the more your scam alarm should start going off.
Should, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And out of the blue, like we see these things, like I know one of the other ones that we've seen is the jury duty call. And people use scare tactics to hey, you missed your jury duty. If you don't come, then we're going to XYZ, or, you'll be arrested or whatever. Like, they're just trying to prey on vulnerable people. We see a lot of elderly and then lonely people, some people who have lost loved ones recently, and they are looking for companionship. So we see a lot of that.
Yeah, it's just, again, that preying on the vulnerable over and over again. So again, if it sounds sudden or there's a lot of pressure involved, if someone's threatening to arrest you for not doing jury duty, I doubt they would call you and tell you ahead of time.
Yeah, it probably. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to ask the sheriff's department maybe on how that would work. But,
I would call the sheriff's department first.
You could always call the court clerk or somebody and say, "Hey, was I supposed to be on jury duty?" A lot of times the scammers do. It's bullying and intimidation, right?
Sure is.
They pose as a figure of authority. And I've seen them in the past where they'll pretend they're the IRS, and if you don't send, if you don't wire us money, we're the IRS, and we're gonna seize all your assets. And
it's a little extreme
and
for first contact.
Yeah, but I think there are vulnerable folks that that believe it, and they're scared by it, and they react to it. So we've kind of discussed in the past, if you've got loved ones who you think might be susceptible to that kind of thing, maybe try to have some conversation and help them prepare. If you could get maybe a power of attorney for a older family member where you could help monitor their finances, or if they'll name you, give you authority on the account so that you could just see it, and that requires a lot of trust too. Even that could open someone up to being scammed. So it's really a matter of trust and trying to rely on those that you do trust to help, if you are worried about it, to help you navigate all these crazy phone calls and messages that you might get.
And if you're out there and you've received one of these calls and you're scared. I mean, it's a scary thing, especially if you don't have anyone to talk to, and this just happens. Reach out to the sheriff's office. Reach out to the local police and the county clerk or whoever you know. It's easy to find the police station's number, so maybe start there and say, "Hey, this happened. What do I do?"
Yeah, and
they're there to serve you as well.
And I think to call your bank or credit union. I mean, we have a lot of great places in town. Obviously, we're partial to First Community Bank, but there are a lot of great places in town. A lot of good people work in our community, and if you have if you don't bank with First Community, but wherever you're at. If you receive something and you're not sure about it, text message, email, whatever it is, call where you bank and say, "Hey, is this legitimate?" Go by, and say, "Hey, I got this." Don't click the link. Don't respond.
I would wait.
Yeah,
I would wait. It's not an emergency.
That's correct. And truly, that's a sign. That's a good sign that it might not be legitimate. Is if they're applying a lot of pressure, like the urgency, like because they want you. The scammer wants you to take action, and not have an opportunity to think through. Is this really the right thing to do?
Yeah,
they want to get you while you're in maybe a bit of a panic.
High stress.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that is a red flag. So if you feel like you're being badgered into taking action, say no.
It's time to stop and wait.
I'm going to
find somebody you trust.
Find somebody you trust.
Absolutely.
Call your bank or credit union, financial institution, and say, "Hey, is this legitimate?"
Yeah, absolutely. So did one of you receive a couple texts in the past couple weeks?
We had an employee who received a couple of texts about career opportunities, and that's one of the new tactics as well. Trying to get you to authorize by saying yes in a text message, and then they can use that as authorization for whatever they please to scam you with. We've seen that this week, so it happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
And interestingly, fraudulent checks are coming back around, and I know a lot of us don't use a lot of checks anymore, but want to encourage folks, if you are writing checks, or if you're expecting a check, try not to leave it in your mailbox too long.
I was going to say,
try to keep it in mind. We've had a recent incident where a scammer, a criminal, was passing altered checks on a customer account, and we were able to help identify it. And actually, we've through the Tennessee Bankers Association, which is our state trade group, we've heard that this is actually happening across the state, and what's the folks involved with this, we're actually able to kind of apprehend one of those individuals while they're in the branch. But this group was out of East Tennessee, and they've gone around and gotten what we believe are homeless people. So another, again, vulnerable population,
really
taking advantage of it, and they're driving them hours away, and they're saying, "Hey, go deposit this check, cash it, and you keep a few $100 and bring us the rest." And I'm sure they left that person on the hook, dangling in the wind when the authorities showed up. So it's just it's really, it's one of those things where you always think, if these people would put their energies toward good things, they probably could accomplish a lot.
With all the
links they go to perpetrate criminal activity. But with checks, just want to encourage people to, but maybe just make sure you're balancing your checkbook. Keeping an eye on what's coming in, what's coming out. That you recognize the activity. Make sure you have physical control of your checks. If you lose a checkbook or a single check, call your bank, call us, and we can put stops and holds on checks. We can block out. Book of personal checks is $25, right? So we can block out a whole range. If you're like, oh, I don't know where that is, we can put a stop on the whole numerical range. So I just want to encourage people to think about that. And I feel like a lot of us now we've moved on to debit cards and other payment methods, and checks are maybe a secondary thought, but
still be careful.
Start to see it. Start to see it.
Yeah, remember how to protect yourself with those checks. And lastly, a reminder that this is the time of year that banks will be reviewing some dormant account activity. Can we talk about that briefly before we close?
You go ahead.
You're okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Well, so dormant accounts. So, and I'm not. I probably should have brushed up on the rules. But if you haven't transacted on your account in some time, so if there's been no transactions for 6 months or a year, the account will go dormant. And then there's different rules for different types of accounts, but there will become a point in time where the state will require not every bank, every institution, to submit, turn over to the state, remit to the treasurer, state treasurer, dormant accounts. So at that point, then you have to go work through the state to recover your funds. And Kayla had the. I thought you had the website address on here, but unclaimed property at tn.gov, Tennessee.gov. Right. So you can actually type in your name and your address and search and see. People often have like old deposits from an apartment or a utility deposit that they never collected, or maybe the utility sent them a check and it didn't get cashed. So just want to remind everyone, before we'd rather give that back to you or activate the account. So if you have an account that you haven't used in some time, reach out to us or your financial institution and get that thing active. We can reactivate it just by making contact. All you have to do is call. So
just let you guys know
that you're still you still want that account active, and we can reactivate it, and then we don't have to go through and turn everything over to the state.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's keep those accounts.
Which is still your money. The state, I think it stays in perpetuity in your name until someone collects it. But that's a little more difficult of a process.
Right, I understand. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for coming today and for doing the show today as opposed to last week as I was out sick. But
I'm glad you're feeling better. That's what's important.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thanks to our listeners for tuning in. This has been the financial update with First Community Bank with Daniel Watson, your president and CFO, and Kayla Hilliard, your marketing manager. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we close here?
I think we're good.
Just say thank you, Chase. Appreciate it. Appreciate the time. Appreciate everyone listening.
Absolutely. And feel free to contact us if you have any further questions or maybe even ideas for the show. If you have questions, come on, reach out to us. You can call us here at the station, 931-684-1514. You know the numbers. Send us an email at WLIJ@gmail.com. And if you have a question for the bank, how can they contact you?
931-684-5800. Come by any of our 3 branches here in Shelbyville or in Lynchburg, and firstcommunitybanker.com.
Firstcommunitybanker.com.
Yep.
All right. Fantastic. Guys, thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
This has been the Financial Update with First Community Bank. And Braden, we will send it back to you.